Design Summit Melbourne. I'm very pleased to be joined on stage by a guy who's wearing a watch, another guy who's not wearing a watch.
I'll explain.
And I'm wearing an analogue watch, just to put it out there. Steve Sacco and Peter Collins, hello.
Hello.
So we're talking about an application that you've done as part of your company for the AFL. So set that up for me. What is that?
Yeah, so I'm from Telstra Media. We've obviously invested quite heavily into the AFL digital rights, which allows us to work with AFL directly to deliver the official AFL products. This watch app is an official AFL application. We also have the AFL Live app, which is the #1 sports app in Australia. So this watch app was designed to be an extension to the AFL Live app product.
And why something for the Apple Watch? I mean, it's something that everybody kind of wants to crack, but it's pretty difficult to find something that is useful, particularly. I mean, the face is so small. What do you do? So why the Apple Watch?
Obviously, there's a lot of new technology hitting the market in the wearables. We look at a lot of things come through and say, okay, is it going to add to our digital suite? Telstra also works with AFL to do the entire digital network, so that's websites, M-sites and so forth. So when we looked at the watch with Outware, our app developer, and they came back with some suggestions on how we could enhance the app experience. We thought, this is going to make it better for the fan, because everything we try to do is for the fan. It's got to have that fan value. Otherwise, if it's gimmicky and the fans know pretty soon and probably not going to use it. So that's why we decided. We had previously done a Pebble watch with Outwear, and we thought that was pretty cool. And then we just thought the Apple Watch was going to even have better market penetration.
It's something that you could actually apply to the Apple Watch. So you came along, Pete, and obviously from Outwear Digital, and you went, right, this is going to work. So what is it about what the offering was that works well for this particular technology?
Well, we had an opportunity to provide access to all this really rich information and a live AFL experience via a completely new channel. It had been pushed kind of really heavily by Apple, or was about to, and we knew that there'd be a really unique marketing opportunity there as well to get into that space quickly. But we also just knew that there was a kind of a subsection of the functionality that we had in AFL Live that would lend itself incredibly well to just those really quick glances and ways that people were expected to interact with a watch. Lots of people just want to go to the product to know the score. Tell me the score, and it's a really quick, short interaction, and we just saw a recurring pattern of functionality and ways that you might interact with AFL Live that would really lend itself well to that small screen and quick interaction.
Okay, so that's it. So small screen, very quick interaction. That's all it is. So what do you do, Steve? I want to know how St Kilda's going.
Yeah, okay. So
of course, actually, let's Sydney Swans.
I'm a St Kilda supporter, so I like that one better.
Okay,
Carlton?
Back to St Kilda.
Carlton?
I want to find out about St Kilda, Carlton, and Sydney Swans. What happens?
Okay, so you have the app on your phone. That has to happen under this current operating system with the watch. You set your notifications, for instance. So I want to be alerted when a game's about to start, or when there's a goal, or whatever is the case. The lead up to the St Kilda game on Saturday, I'll get a notification the game's about to start, or even earlier that morning I can look at the watch and have a countdown on when the game's going to start. During the game I can quickly glance at my watch and see what the score is. I don't necessarily have to take my phone out of my pocket.
So you could be at dinner with the in-laws or something like that, and
they wouldn't know that you're looking at the
glance.
score.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Right. And that's all it is. It's very simple.
No, there's a bit more to it. Pete, do you want?
Yeah, well, I mean, so there's essentially it's built around kind of three main things, essentially. So obviously, Steve talked about the notifications, and that's one of, I guess, the really powerful things about wearables is that it allows you to give very contextual information just at kind of appropriate times. But then within the app itself, we have essentially two things, which is the match center and the ladder. And so the match center is, it's a really high traffic area within AFL Live. So it was definitely a candidate for the watch where we thought, end users are going going to get a lot of value out of having access to that information on the watch. And so that's the match centre itself is then split up into kind of 3 sections. So it's upcoming matches, live matches, and then completed matches. So within each round of the AFL, it allows you to see across that whole round what the results were, the matches that have been played. It allows you to follow in a kind of really interactive way a live match, and then obviously travel forward in time and see what's upcoming. But then also just be able to easily see where those results translate to your position on the ladder.
And what's the take up? Are people interested in this at it?
It is an expensive device, so we've got that limitation really on how quickly Apple's able to sell these watches into the market. There aren't a lot of apps on the watch yet, so I'm sure that most people that buy the watch have the AFL app on it.
Do you think, as you say, people are buying the watch because they want this app? Is that what's happening, or the other way around?
No, I think it's the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you have a good app, then they're more likely to want to have the watch, I suppose, too. If you're a fan of the AFL, you'll want this because you'll be able to use it.
Yeah, we work closely with Apple as well, and Apple were very happy that we were building this app. So, yeah.
You touched on it before, but it would be good to hear you talk about it a little bit more, about being at the forefront of that kind of technology, adopting it as it's starting. As you said, there's not that many apps yet for the Apple Watch. So why is it so key for you to do that from a business sense?
Well, it's all about engagement. So this really allows us to get AFL fans coming back to the mobile app. This watch app is an extension to the AFL Live app in many ways. It's sort of touching the service, like Pete said. We've got a match centre and we've got the ladder, but you can go into the mobile app and you can find out so much more information. And we want people to perhaps be alerted to the game. It's a close game. It's pretty exciting. Okay, I'll pick up my phone. I'll have a closer look at what's exactly happening with the stats. But also, you can watch the game live on your phone. So it's sort of the whole ecosystem. I think these wearables are sort of have to be looked at in the whole ecosystem, and that's one of the main business drivers for us to do this.
Keep pushing in the future, certainly. Thank you. Great to talk to you about the app. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.